live. We are live. This is once again the committee conference at H.949 the yield bill, and that's at least. You said you went off it.
We did. John has a new draft. He can share it and talk us through it. I guess I would close the door. Yeah, thank you. And preface with a few things. It really does feel like we're getting closer to each other here. Thank you. We extended out the date on the limit on tuition growth to match the fact that we were extending out the other date. We did not make it permanent, frankly, just because it was going to be a really heavy drafting lift.
Okay.
And so we kept it in session law out to 2035. That is a similar date to a lot of things that we've put sort of, that's a date that we've picked for quite a few things around this transition as sort of a further out. That's not forever. Given that our goal is to really across this is to move towards the foundation formula amount, and everyone sort of coming down towards that, we thought a lower growth number was more appropriate. And so we're coming back to you with NEPA again. But liked the sort of language that you had for describing who it applies to. Thank you for that.
Okay.
And still have some concerns about the continuing to go down to going all the way down to 112 in these years that we're not. That I hope that I don't think we're there. I think we'll be at the foundation formula then. And so threatening with this unknown future feels to us at this point ill-advised. And so that's where we are right now. John can show you the language.
Okay.
Did I miss anything?
I think you're good. I think
Okay.
we worked through some of the mechanics of trying to figure out, looking at the actual tuition paid versus announced tuition. It effectively does the same thing, but it does allow for the credits and the true up at the end of the year. So mostly the same.
And it's just like, it's much cleaner. It's much cleaner language, the language you gave us.
Let's see what this looks like. I'm not sure I quite understand what you guys are talking about.
Let's do people. Great.
So, John Gray, Office of Legislative Counsel, I think I have, it's still in the same form that you saw previously, so I'm not gonna run through too much of this. I'm just gonna talk to the highlighted piece. You can see the excess spending thresholds here, but it sounds like this is still subject to figuring out the out years. So the real piece we need to look at is the tuition piece, which is it's framed right in a similar construct. The differences are, it doesn't apply to just FY 28, 29. It's 28 through 2035. And then it's, instead of comparing or allowing for an increase based on the change in statewide average per pupil spending, it's instead capped at the annual change in net levels. So.
The other question I have for you, I have a question for you outside of this section, so I'll hold it, but unless you have, if you have anything you want to say about this section, I'll wait before I move on to the next section.
So is there a corresponding language that restricts the school district spending increases to NEPA?
School districts are capped with the excess spending threshold.
No, school districts can spend whatever they want.
Well, they're limited by the excess spending.
No, they're not.
I mean, you know what I mean now.
They're not. They can spend whatever they want. So we're gonna say that schools that receive tuition are beholden to NEPA, but we want to be fair and consistent. We'd say that all school districts spending is tied to NEPA. But that's not what we're doing.
No, what we're trying to do here is find a tool for cost containment for the districts, especially for the districts that are managing the new, much lower excess spending thresholds. And there's the squeezing of the
On the excess spending. I think the concern is that they might pass that downward pressure on to the tuition in school.
And so that's what we're hoping to prevent with this.
Right. Okay, so the question is NIPA the right
Yes.
number?
Not a question for, but
No,
I think this is not.
Do you think this is too low?
I don't care what it is,
Okay.
but it needs to be consistent across the education spectrum.
it was this was like 1% and 2%, but we got the NIPA numbers.
I mean, if you want to say every district, every receiving school
Yep.
is subject to NIPA, all day long.
Thanks. The other thing I just wanted to talk about, which I don't think we've had a very like robust conversation about, and it's not part of our proposal, I just wanted, because it's still to have John sort of drafting this back and forth.
Okay,
We had structured the new excess spending threshold as a percentage of the foundation formula. You all decided to structure it at the existing excess spending threshold. I just want to clarify, you think that our construct is too confusing at this moment?
yeah, it would be
Okay.
something new schools have to figure out, and then they have to explain to the public.
Okay.
Why it's different, and the public doesn't understand any of this anyway.
Mhm. And we thought sort of to some degree that the new construct is actually like simpler and easier to understand,
Yeah.
but it's certainly not a hill that anyone's dying on.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to clarify that.
So we're down to what do we use that's not NIPA that prevents pushing the downward pressure on just sendings.
And we're concerned about we're concerned about the tail going out too far on the excess spending threshold, continuing to go down. We'd like to stop at 2030 with the decrease and say like, this is the year of the foundation formula.
What if it's a bigger foundation?
Then we're gonna have a whole lot of work.
We are
to do. The
back
education
to
fund
square
is gonna
one.
be in there's a lot of work to do. That will be the least of it.
How about we send it out to 31 or 32? With the provision only if foundation formula doesn't go into effect with that work.
Talking about just the tuition, the part about tuition.
Now I'm thinking about excess spending.
So it could keep on, so I guess the question is it gonna keep on going down until 2031, or is it just gonna keep on going till 2031?
Well, I think the problem is everyone intends that it will go till it hits the level of the foundation formula. The question is, what is that level? Because we won't know until we get closer to it, if inflation.
Yeah.
The cost of school busing goes through the roof in school. We're in a whole different ballgame. So,
105% is the average stabilization share. Average district of 105. And it's inflation adjusted.
I'm seeing a lot of parity if we will look at the EST slope to track with when we would cap the tuition amount. So those timeframes, if we're looking at a 3-year window or a 4-year window, just to match those two things, if they think to your point. My question is, if we do something like that, what does the EST default to at the end of the 4 years? Are we going to go back to current law 118?
No, it would stay at 114.
So we have to-
It would stay at 114.
unless we change it.
Yeah, unless we change it.
The future legislatures.
Yeah.
Did that in your new proposal, those numbers?
So it stays at 114.
No.
No.
So,
It can, we can put it in.
15.5, 14.5, 14 in perpetuity.
Mhm.
That's what it costs. And then the tuition thing would just be for the 3-year slide.
It goes to 2035 because that seems like a good date, because having it go in perpetuity was just a lot of drafting, and 2035 seemed far enough out that we're getting a tail.
And we will be in the.
It will be in the fact, like, it all goes away when we get to the
Yes,
foundation formula.
your
Like,
tuition,
whole provisions are repealed when we get to the
Right.
foundation formula.
so they do both need to be on the same time frame, because they both will be repealed.
Yeah.
When we hit, so we've got the tuition going to 2035. You want to take it down 15.5 next year, which is 28, 29 to 13.
We'd like to stay at 114.
In perpetuity, well.
Until the
we
foundation
change-
formula is enacted.
And until the next legislature changes it.
So if we go to 114. And just say if the foundation formula isn't in place, we go to 112 and really evaluate at that point.
So what we were talking about is we would stay at 114 if the foundation formula wasn't put in place, but you're saying that you would like to go on 12.
Well, I think some other people might like it.
113 is a very unlucky number, so maybe jinx it so that it won't.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so we've got,
So we'll think about 113 and you'll think about NEPA.
we'll think about NEPA
Okay.
or something else. NEPA's pretty tight.
I mean, it's, you know, with gas prices, I imagine NEPA's about to go up, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, NEPA will go up too.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
okay.
And to your point, Scott, you had said that school districts won't be held to the same limitation on what they spend, because they could increase their budget, except that the excess spending threshold would be again.
They can spend whatever they want.
Yes, but and then the excess spending threshold, and we're using this as a way to really reduce spending. That's the whole purpose of it, right? So in theory, all the schools are going to then look at how to restrain their spending so they don't incur that excess spending.
And if they do,
There.
that will show up in the construct that we offer.
As the pressure goes down, then the
They'll,
spending
yeah, they're gonna spend less.
will
That'll show up.
go down. And it's
I want to understand where you're watching.
Yes.
Yes.
connected to every,
I mean, if they don't, they continue to spend like this, then it goes with them. If they slow down, then it goes with that too. It just goes wherever the group goes.
all of this is based on the theory that by putting financial consequences on going higher will deter people from going higher. We might find out that we're wrong and that we're back to square one. But right now, we're just trying to find a way. I think NEPA is pretty tight for tuitions.
I mean, we live with it if everybody else wants to live with it. So, equal treatment.
Is there a similar construct for the EST that we could apply to this, where it would be 100 and whatever the 12% of previous year spending, which also adjusts for NIPA?
So,
Tuition above.
They're doing that based on that FY25 spending anyway, going down, yeah. So it's just a different percentage.
With the goose, with the
I
gangers.
mean, so another way that's more tied to existing spending and less sort of outside of the education world, would be the ed spendings change rather than the per pupil spending change.
Sure.
If ed spending goes up 5%, they could go up
That's the cap.
5, if
That's
it
the
goes up 2, if it goes down 2, they have to go down 2.
I like that.
Which would mean a negotiating right for my position. So, okay.
There's that effect of the schools that do not operate all grades. And we could in run into this tuition issue.
But it'd still be tuitioning out. It's just the tuition. The schools that tuitioning to can't charge more.
Well, just.
So you still keep that. I thought you were trying to come up with one single process that related to fully operating districts and not fully operating.
You know, the macro ed spending increase, not the individual district ed spending increase. Is that?
Yeah.
And not-
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in the fully non-operating school district, they're going to, their tuitions are gonna be set by all those receiving schools.
Right.
Just like they are now. And they're going to request an amount of money from the education fund to make sure they can cover all those tuitions. There's no difference than what it is now. No different. Now, that's pre-foundation.
Right.
All we're doing is controlling the tuition.
Where foundation goes in, they can only get foundation.
Right, right.
Plus students, but, okay.
Yeah, it would work just like it does now, like, just those tuition rates are, there's a control on it.
Murray, if we can ask, JFO about what the average or what the change in
Education spending is.
education spending year to year. Imagine those numbers are immediately available.
Yeah, Julie Richter, JFO. I'm assuming you're asking right now.
Yeah.
Like 3.8% this year.
Yeah, what is it expected to be this year?
3.8%, or sorry, 4.2%.
That was 2.5.
That's 26 to 27.
Yeah, let me double check that that's the final,
Good.
budget numbers. It's in the education fund outlook. I just need to pull that up.
But as far as 3.8, you're saying it's 4.2.
3.8 is the average tax.
Yeah, give me one,
That's-
it was, give me 1 second.
Beth?
So the average education spending increase from FY 26 to FY 27 is 3.8%.
So wait a minute, it's average.
Yeah, what do you mean average?
Or maybe I misspoke, I'm quite tired. The education spending increase, the total education spending increase in Vermont from FY 26 to FY 27 is estimated to be 3.8%.
So that's wrong.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, 3.8.
Really right.
So the tax rate was actually 3.5.
Yes,
3.8. Sorry, was that figure before in the tax rate increase? Was that previously 3.8? Can you give us?
yeah, so the reason that we're
We
all
both be right?
confused,
Yeah.
everyone is right.
Super, so good.
When it was when we were in Senate Finance, it was an average increase of 4.2% with an average bill change of 3.8%. And then with the updated information, now we have an average or a total ed spending increase of 3.8% and an average bill change of 3.5%.
So when you do the final education outlook after all the budgets are in, you'll be able to say what that increase is, and then that would be the maximum tuition increase in public or independent school.
You can see that on line H of the ed spend.
So in this construct, this year, tuition increases could not go above 3.8%.
Next year's tuition increases, yeah.
And if we
That's what
increase the spending, they would have to decrease their tuition.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Okay.
And just for one more data point, do you know what is 25 to 26?
Yes, from 25 to 26, the education spending grew by 5.5%.
Was that?
Okay, so it sounds like that inflator is good for you.
Yeah.
Unofficially. Okay,
That's fine.
okay, and so then it seems like all that's left is the tail.
The tail.
Sorry, can I just confirm what you guys just agreed to?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have to.
Okay, so you're saying, for that period, 2028 through 2035, tuition paid to a public or approved parent receiving school shall not increase from the prior year by more than the relative percentage change increase in statewide education spending between the previous fiscal year and the fiscal year preceding that.
Yes.
I'm only willing to go as long as the tail is for the excess and individual.
So that's
Yes,
35.
we want to do an excess spending increase up to 35, and that's what we do. We want to do 32, and 32, 33, whatever.
Sort of match.
Okay, and so,
Pension.
and then you were saying go to 13% for the tail.
Future legislators can lower it more.
Okay,
Great.
can,
I think that's good. Fine.
can you draft that as a report?
Did you just agree to something?
We have tentatively agreed to something and we need to confirm.
Oh, okay. I can track.
I'd like to see the progression, what it looks like right now.
Okay. Can we do one more break and then get together again? So sorry.
Okay.
Would you like this to be ended before we come?
Yes, that would be great.
So,
All right, what time we get
What
to?
time?
I've got the other thing at 7:30.
8 o'clock.
Try for 8.
Yeah, let's say, can we say
Or do you
8:10
want-
so I can have